Chi Running Half Marathon training program. I just went out to my high school track and I ran 3 miles. My Forerunner GPS watch says 3 miles. My time was 29.10 minutes, so 29 minutes, 10 seconds. And my average pace was 9 minutes, 43 seconds per mile. I'm doing a video post of my week 6. This is week 7. Yeah, I just posted week 6. So sorry, this is week 7 of my Chi Running Half Marathon training program. So anyway, it's really hot outside. I ran out in the track, like I said. It's about 1:15 in the daytime right now, so it's full sun. It was foggy this morning. I hoped the fog was going to last, but it didn't, so it was really hot, really sunny. I did put on sunscreen because I was getting real gnarly tan line right here and then here from the kiss, so it looked like I had little booties on my feet. My feet are so white, and then there's a tan line there. So I'm glad I put on sunscreen. I don't really want to get a nasty tan line like that. Plus I have too many freckles. I don't need any more. And I don't want to get skin cancer. So anyway, let's see what happened. So that was cool. Oh, the best part about this run was that I finally went barefoot for the first time, like really barefoot. Like I've been running in these KSO shoes for about, it's probably been 3-4 months by now. But after reading all the posts on Twitter and Tumblr and the YouTube videos, all these people saying, oh, you gotta go really barefoot, I decided to throw off my Vibrams, and I did. I ran around the track once, I think, barefoot. And the track is red. It's really hot. Like I said, it was noon when I was doing it, so that started to get really hot underneath my feet. It was a red rubber. So I took off, and I remember reading something by Mark Sisson. I remember he has the Primal Blueprint book about I read one of his blog posts on my reader about just running free, so going out and not staking to a trail or anything. So I did. I ran off the trail and into the baseball fields, and I was really worried about bees. I thought I was going to get stung by a bee because there's lots of clover out there and the bees are out on the clover. But I didn't get stung, and I ran out over the clover in the grass, and it was wet, and it felt really good. It felt really cool. And it really felt nice to kind of rinse my feet off after being barefoot on the track for a while, which was hot. So I went out there and I ran around and I tried to find grass that was kind of low, because right now there's no kids playing soccer and baseball out there, so the grass is growing really long. And so the grass, was hard actually barefoot to step over. The big grass kind of was making my hip flexors hurt. It was almost like when I used to wear shoes and then would try and step over the grass, pick my feet up. It was harder to lean from the ankles and run when the grass was so high, so that's something I didn't like. And then I put my Vibrams back on, and I continued to run, and I took off, and I ran around the parking lot, and around the track some more, and then I ran back onto the grass. But what I found with grass with the Vibrams is that it was very sticky. So the grass kind of stuck to the rubber and the Vibrams and didn't really feel very good. It kind of made me trip a couple times. So this is my conclusion. If I'm going to go barefoot, I'm going to go do that on grass and maybe on low grass. And if I'm going to run in the Vibrams, then I'll run before it's noon, so the track isn't too hot. And I'll run on track and pavement and concrete with the Vibrams, because I don't want to get glass in my feet. And I know a lot of people are running completely barefoot on concrete, but it's not something I want to do, especially now that I'm chronicling this half marathon training, and I really want to be able to run the half marathon. I think if I wasn't too worried about making a date for the half marathon, then I'd kind of dabble in, neighborhood runs barefoot, but that's for later. So anyway, I was talking really fast, but I'm just tired. So I hope you enjoyed. This was week 7 of my Chi Running Half Marathon training program. This is my video blog post, so that's it. Oh, and I forgot to say the best part about my run today, this is in week 7, that after I finished running all around the track, and the grass, and the barefoot, and the parking lot, and everything, this car had been sitting there in the parking lot, kind of there, and I didn't know if he was watching me or something, but this guy, a big guy, pulled up next to me in the parking lot after I was walking back to my room, and he was like, "You're making me tired just watching you run around." And So we had a really good talk about, he was sitting in his car, but we had a really good talk about just what these shoes are and how far I ran. I said I ran 3 miles. He was like, that's it? It looked like a lot farther. And I said, no. And he asked about, you know, of course, they always say the same things, like, doesn't it make your back hurt? And does it hurt the bottoms of your feet? And do you get knee problems with it? And I say, no, of course, obviously, you prevent knee problems and you prevent, you know, back problems. And so we had a nice talk, and he said he did see some high school kids running at the high school track the other day with a different high school track with some of these shoes, which I thought was cool because I've never seen anybody in real life with these shoes yet besides me. I've seen a ton of videos about them, but I've never actually seen a person with having them on. So we talked about that, and he said, but I don't think you could do something at the beach with them. I said, oh yeah, I ran completely barefoot at the beach just the other week, you know, 5 miles at the beach, and he was really surprised. And so this is something that I just really love about these shoes, and I wrote a little bit about this in my last post, that these are so visual that people just want to ask you questions, and they do. And I'm not really, I mean, I'm a teacher. I like to present. I like to be up in front of people, but I'm not in a crowd a very outspoken or outgoing person. I tend to be pretty quiet unless someone asks me something or unless I really get to know people. But it's like these shoes break down all barriers. Like if someone sees that you're in these shoes, then they kind of feel comfortable with you all of a sudden, and they're kind of shy to ask you questions because you're doing something that, you know, not very many people do. So if you have these shoes, be really proud and be, I mean, I guess that's what I wanted to say to you, that, you know, don't worry that they're weird or that people are looking down on you, because I've seen a lot of people writing about that, like, oh, I think that people would laugh at me, or I think they're so ugly looking. Well, it doesn't matter. I mean, people really are impressed that you're doing something so different. At least that's what I found, that people are pretty excited about it. So that's really the end of my run, and I wanted to make sure that I said that because I felt really cool to be able to tell someone about it. I always say 5 fingers, and try and ingrain that into their heads. I have to remember to get business cards. I'm really going to try to order business cards because I think that when someone asks me about it, then I can just hand it to them and say, my name's Allison from Allison'sBigToe.com. That's my blog. I write about these shoes, and here's some information, and then I can have resources and whatever there. So anyway, that's my thing.